was your first earliest?
The first, when she was a child, you see, she was exposed to people in the neighborhood who spoke all different dialects, all different dialects.
Of Italian.
As a child.
And all of those, she had to understand them in order to integrate them so that they could accomplish something in the pastry shop, because the customers all spoke different dialects.
What was her name?
Huh?
What was her name?
Her name was Penizotto, Josephine.
Middle name?
Her real name was Josephine.
Middle name. What was her middle name?
Conchetta?
I don't remember ever hearing her middle name.
Conchetta?
Conchetta?
It
Conchetta.
could, maybe. I wouldn't swear to it.
No, bad guess, but I don't think.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
You know, we'll do some research.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, find out. You know.
Inquiring minds want to know.
But that's what
I'm
I
looking at the wedding
but
cake,
I think
and it doesn't have anything.
Doesn't have
I think you had to start with how she got the education she had that enabled her to deal with everything and the abilities.
Yeah, well, she was very knowledgeable with just not only that, people knowledge.
The people knowledge,
And,
because first of all, Uncle Tony, who was the oldest, he wanted nothing to do with the family or the business. Uncle John wanted nothing to do with the business or the family. She was left. She was the youngest.
Right.
That's why. And that she had to deal with all these people, including her own mother and father, who spoke their own dialect, and they had businesses. You know, she had the business. They dealt with people from all over Syracuse who came from all parts of Italy, and she even learned to write Italian in all the dialects.
Well, this is what I was going to throw in there a little bit later on, but
Okay.
now that you brought it up, I remember a woman coming to the counter asking Mom to write a letter for her.
That's why I was
to
going to go.
Italy.
Well, I was
And
going.
then she said she knew where she came from, and she wrote it in the dialect.
That's what I was.
Not
going,
just speaking it,
Yeah,
she
no,
wrote it.
I was going to go into that. She could write and understand and speak
Dialect.
many dialects.
And no one educates for that. I mean, she got that
Well-
through just paying attention.
Well, she got that also out of necessity.
So I'm saying,
Yeah, but that's how she learned it. She learned it by watching and
by
observing.
example, yeah. And the other thing is, like your father, my brother said, that she was the last person standing. She had responsibility to the core. She knew that if it wasn't for her, the company, the business would go out, gone.
Right.
There would be no business. My father, forget it. My mother was the only one, and she had such responsibility that she didn't want it to fail, because in respect and honor for her father.
How old was she when her father died?
But
How old was she when her father died?
Well, see, I was two, so she was.
her father died. She was about
In
in the
1937.
early 30s. She was born
Yeah.
in 1906. The father died in 1937.
Right,
She was 31.
that's right.
Wow, young. So she took over the store then.
She took
Yeah,
over.
but she was dominant anyway.
Right,
You know,
right.
she did and here's the other thing that she did that your Chuck is alluding to, that she learned how to decorate cakes, create the cookies, read the recipes, understand them, order everything. She was the business person, she was the creative person, and she was the family.
Yeah.
She was the family in one core.
And a great people
Nobody
person.
else. What's that?
The great people person.
People person, because like Chuck said, she had to learn that.
Yeah.
But I
Otherwise
think,
she'd fail.
but
Yeah.
I think you would do a very good job of explaining what she was, like you say, but how she evolved. But the only thing that I think that I could do is tell you the origins, where these came from.
That's right.
And how they developed, and then you could fill in an awful lot about what she can do.
She was amazing. Yeah.
And I think she had a lot of abilities.
Well, I'm just wondering what her IQ was.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a woman, a woman in the 40s giving speeches to
Yeah,
politicians.
well, I was gonna go into that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna go into that, but
Why don't you tell your story and then I'll,
Okay, all right, what I'll do is, I'll start when she was the earliest I know of her, and what the environment was when she was a child.
Where was she born?
She was born in Syracuse, and she was born through a midwife. And when she was born, they had just moved into the north side of Syracuse. And the responsibility of running the store, but which wasn't a store at the time, they were working out of a small home, the Junto home. They moved in there, and they had a kitchen stove. That was the bakery. And she was a child at the time, and as she grew older, even when she was in grammar school, she began to run the family in grammar school, because neither of her older brothers wanted any responsibility.
Why? Why didn't
They hated the pastry shop. They hated it because it evolved. It evolved that they were doing, when they did all of the cooking and baking, they did it for an entire celebration. They cooked all the meals, they baked all the goods, that they served them all. That it was from A to Z. Everything that was done for a celebration, they did.
including the brothers?
And including the
Okay.
products, but the boys, the older boys, had to serve. They were the servers,
Waiters.
and they did not like it.
Oh,
She watched all this and she grew into it, but she absorbed knowledge like a sponge. Everything, could read and write all of the dialects. The lawyers, even the lawyers, Italian lawyers, would come to her because she knew all the dialects practically in Italy, could read and write them, and so when there were legal issues, she even got into those. She even got into advising people that had property in Italy and wanted to transfer it or wanted to cash it in. She was involved with the letter writing and all the dialects. So all of this knowledge she picked up as a child, and it was by deferment. Her brothers wanted nothing to do with it, so the responsibility was, as young as she was, the responsibility was on hers, because the father and mother could not, didn't have the abilities to deal with the English-speaking people.
Well, Mom was the only one in the family born in America.
She was the only one born in America.
And she learned from the beginning that this is America. We got to play
This is
the game
America.
the way they
Right.
This is
expect it.
America.
And the other two the brothers had to learn the language because they spoke
oh,
Italian.
okay.
But don't forget, that even though they did all the cooking and baking, which was all secret, by the way, it was in Italian. And all the suppliers, they dealt in English.
There had to be a communication.
So she had to know both sides.
Yeah.
The mother and father could not speak English at all. They could not read or write English.
No.
But they had to be able to deal with the suppliers to run the
They
business.
relied on Mom.
But
Mom
the
was-
only person who would do that, the brothers could do that, but they didn't want to.
Yeah.
The only person who could was Mom, and she was the youngest. So she started young, but to know practically all the dialects in Italian except Venetian. That's the only dialect she had trouble with. There must have been about a dozen dialects in Italy, and she knew just about all of them except Venetian. And so she could read and write in English, perfect, fast, read and write upside down.
No.
She could understand all these dialects and write in them. She could write to people.
That's what I say, I'm amazed.
She could write to all those people in the different parts of Italy that were in different districts. She could do it in perfect Italian, which was the only one accepted in Rome. She could do it in perfect Italian, or she could do it in dialect.
Amazing.
She could learn the laws. She could learn the American rules and laws, because like when they were transferring property, she could deal with the lawyers, she could deal with the Italians, she could deal with the people doing legal stuff in Italy as well as in the America.
But she
could
also
do
went-
this all at a young age.
She also went to school though, which was
She
unusual,
went to
right?
grammar school.
Oh, she loved,
And only schooling she had, she graduated 8th grade, that's all.
Which was big deal though, really, for the time.
yeah,
She was dealing at the high school level and sometimes even at the college level in grade 6. So all of this she had to learn and do by necessity.
She loved school. I remember talking to her at the table.
She loved school.
School was her love, but she also, she had a problem leaving it. She didn't
Well,
like- she didn't
well,
like
don't
leaving it.
forget she also had leadership qualities. She loved being in the church choir. She had a nice, pretty good voice. She loved being in the church choir. There were a lot of Italian American women who could not speak English very well. So when they would organize a women's Italian American club, she was the natural nominee because she could deal at all levels.
Both sides, yeah.
And they all gravitated toward her.
Wow.
All of the Italian American women, or just the plain
they loved
Italian women, they all went to her finally, even out of necessity. Because if they tried somebody else, they would fall
Well,
short.
they really respected it. They had a lot of respect.
So when they needed the president of the Italian American Club with a women's part, it was her.
It is, yeah.
The men's part, it was her. The English part for the, for example, Monsignor Walsh, when there came time to give his great testimonial at the Syracuse University, and here's Mom,
Right there.
who was washing clothes, cooking, taking care of us,
Pastry
taking care of Dad, buying his clothes. She had to drop everything and go down to the Syracuse Hotel and make this speech with
Unbelievable.
500 people present honoring the Monsignor Walsh.
What a woman.
And she did it without notes. And if you can imagine somebody doing this while the washing machine is running, while the cookies are being baked, while she had to decorate cakes. She taught herself how to decorate cakes professionally, without any instruction. Okay? How could you learn these things?
Brilliant.
And as you know, to write things upside down
What,
as
reading?
fast as we can write them right side
I
up.
used to challenge her with the post standards.
And then,
What do you mean write stuff upside
She could
down?
write upside down, she could read upside down.
Read upside down.
Why would you
Just
write
a
upside
trick.
down? Oh, a trick.
You know, just showing you that she's got the talent.
Okay.
But
Meanwhile,
we would challenge her, but we would challenge her. See,
Yeah.
my mother, we would give her a headache.
Yeah.
I mean, boys, family, we were bad sometimes. We'd say, oh, you can't do that, and she would show us. And we look at each other. I mean, that's a brilliant girl.
Meanwhile,
Beautiful girl.
Meanwhile, here is a dysfunctional person with a lot of talent, Dad, who had a lot of problems because he had a lot of talent, even a movie contract, and here she marries him. She had to deal with him and treat
She had
him.
to go down a notch.
And he was very sensitive.
I know.
So if she said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, he would get angry and get drunk or break something, and he was a very powerful man. So now she's taking care of him. Oh, hey Joe, that's what he called her. Hey Joe, I need a new shirt. I need new pants. The only thing he would buy himself is the shoes. And now she had to take care of him, She had to take care of her mother, who could only speak Italian, okay? She had to learn how to make all of the pastry and know all the recipes up here. And run the bakery shop, the business part, deal with the customers.
What about the kids? She had to raise you kids too,
And
right?
she had to raise us kids.
She's
Yeah.
cool.
And she was a good mom, right?
Yeah, she was a good mom.
She even advocated for us, me mostly, Mark
Yeah,
Chuck is,
yeah,
he was born brilliant.
Yeah.
But a little easier for him. but we were a little bit of attitude, and but she would advocate for us. She'd have to go to school and make her point
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
I mean, how could she leave? She couldn't even drive. She didn't drive.
Yeah.
Couldn't drive.
How did she do? How did she accomplish what she accomplished, knowing what you just told you? She doesn't even drive.
She didn't drive.
And she kept a sense of humor.
She had a good
She was
sense of humor.
very
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, she
Very.
was. She was really funny.
she was a good sense of
She was
humor.
usually upbeat.
She was very, very.
How do you do that?
She loved to dance.
Yeah.
Dancing in the store. I mean,
No.
how would you learn? We didn't even have TV to learn how to dance.
No,
But
I
you
don't
know, she wanted to, she had a lot of heart. She wanted to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
She wanted peace, everybody happy,
Yeah.
and doing that with a little volcano of a father.
The father would. You know what? She used to tell me that when he got mad, she could tell his hair would move, go up, stand up. His hair wouldn't move. Can you picture that? You see the guy's hair moving, you got to get afraid and you leave. That's what you
But,
do.
you know,
Why didn't she leave?
What?
Why didn't she leave?
Too much heart, like you said, compassion. She was responsible, a
Yeah.
greatly responsible woman.
she'd have to leave us behind too.
Yeah, I mean, we have a family thing, I'm gonna talk to the camera. here.
Right.
We have a family, everybody's great, right? And
Yes,
this family is
yeah.
a great family,
Yeah.
like others.
Yep.
But this one is a great family. We have the same, maybe you'll call it curse. We can't leave, we can't quit. We got a responsible thing. We
Right.
take responsibility.
Right.
We'll be there to the end.
Yeah.
She brought the genetic
Yeah.
powers into our family. She was the one.
Yeah.
But don't forget, not only did she have dad, but her father, he was manic depressive too. And she had to appease him
had to-
because her father found a mate for her. She was like 20 years old, 19, 18, I don't know, Rich. And she finds this guy who's about 40 years old to marry her.
Her father found this guy.
Yeah, and she didn't like him. So she told her father, I don't want to marry him. Father says, you don't have a choice. You have to marry this man because I like him. And and so she ran away and to our relatives in New York City, and she hid out. Now, the man had lost face, see, because he was supposed to be married, and her father being in charge of all, he loaned business money to businesses run by other Italians and Italian Americans, and everybody owed him money, so he was a big shot. So he wanted to be a big shot and play the part of a big shot. So when he announced that his daughter was marrying this big shot, old guy, everybody knew it. So now to save face, see, she was living in New York City as she escaped, and the man who she was supposed to marry, he told her father, he says, the only way we can find peace here is I have to murder your daughter. Now, if you can imagine this,
It seems logical.
how is she going to come back? How is she going to come back to Syracuse to be married, to be murdered, to be murdered?
I'll be right there.
So see, she wouldn't do that. So she stayed in New York City with the relatives who protected her. And finally, when she came back quietly, very quietly, this man she was supposed to marry didn't know she was living in Syracuse. And so she quietly tried to work her way in. And finally, she convinced her father that, look, do I have to die? Well, maybe we
It's a little
can,
extreme.
maybe we can smooth things out. So going to the guy that she's promised to. Now, what can we do for you? What can he give you? And so he, a couple of favors, and in this past, with time, it passed over. Okay? And now, along comes Dad, who the relatives in New York, they said, we've got this guy who never went to school, he doesn't know how to read or write. His father was at fault for this. They should have been, all of those kids should have been educated. Even his oldest brother, Uncle Jimmy, had a college education. All the other boys and girls below had no education. Terrible, because Dad was so talented.
That was the logic.
He had a movie contract.
I know, the guy was brilliant, talented.
Okay, so now he's dysfunctional. But now they said, well, he has nobody to take care of him, and he must marry somebody. So we think Josephine, who knows everything and can get along with everybody, should be his wife.
Why not?
Because she's taking care of the father and the mother and the brothers and everybody else and all the Italian Americans in the city. Maybe she could take care of him too.
Well, wait a minute, that was on the inside track. But everybody else on the outside thought, he's a good-looking guy, he could have been an actor, he had a lot of poise, he can dance, he could sing, he could do a lot, and he was talented. And he could make things work in the bakery, that's what they're thinking. But they didn't know this.
They didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're right, you're absolutely
They didn't
right.
know.
So she walks into this problem, and now when she went to New York, she used to describe how whenever they went to the movies together, they're courting. Here's the guy she's going to marry, who is dysfunctional because he's pulled it. He went for his 4th grade. He didn't go to 5th grade. He couldn't even write his name hardly. And she's supposed to marry him and take care of him on top of all
Everything
the
else.
things.
She could hit.
And so here they're going together, and there's about 12 to 15 people. But if they went to the movies together,
A group.
all the cousins, they're all chaperones. 15 of them going to the movies, so they can't even hold hands.
Oh, man.
Okay?
I'll tell you.
So now they arrange this marriage. It's the biggest marriage in the history of Syracuse. 500 people. The wedding cake, 7 feet
7
tall.
feet, yeah.
Okay,
Doves
big
come
wedding.
Doves on the top,
They hire Syracuse Hotel,
Right.
and they have this big party. Meanwhile, her father is paying for the whole thing. No one knew, her father. And the people there were having such a great time, but they were all friends of Uncle John and Uncle Tony, and they were having a great time playing cards. They didn't want to leave those.
It was a party, it was a movie.
So Mom did not get a honeymoon. Dad's oldest brother got married just before Uncle Jimmy, and he goes to Bermuda.
Oh, of course.
Mom thought she was going to go to Bermuda, and she goes no place, and she's sitting in a hotel watching all the money go down the drain because these guys are playing cards 2 or 3 days at a time.
Man, it must have been tough.
So
What church did they get married in? Did they get married in a church?
So
I would
she
think
got
Pompeii.
married. She got married in this Lady Pompeii church.
Okay.
Because it was, the original Pompeii was a different look.
It was a different building.
Yeah, church.
Yeah, the old church. But she made the decision. One thing I'll say for Mom, she made the decision. She said, I'm not paying the bill to Syracuse Hotel. Everybody's got to go home or pay their own bill. But she didn't go to Bermuda. So anyway, that stopped it. But Dad did not know how to manage money, but he did help, of course, build the home at 1314 Lodi Street.
That
We
was
had a
there,
beautiful home.
That was nice. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Dad did a beautiful job. He put 7 coats of plaster. That the walls were plaster was that thing.
One of the things, he had the talent.
He had
He
talent.
had the wicked, I mean, if he
was
really
an
paid-
ornamental plasterer.
Like, if he really paid attention, I don't think, there was nothing he couldn't do. He's very creative. No education, but creativity was right top,
Yeah.
right on top of it.
Nowadays, they would have tried to recommend therapy or something for them, probably.
Well, nowadays,
Nowadays.
but a couple problems. You're right. If somebody was there to support it,
Yeah,
recognize his talent. I mean, my mother would have done it probably,
Yeah.
his wife
Yeah.
would have done it. No one else. I don't think anyone else would have taken the, that's the problem when a family doesn't have the cohesive energy together and bonding. Like you said, her brothers didn't care.
Okay.
They wouldn't have helped. I mean, they would be nice, they would be decent, but they wouldn't help. You need somebody that wants to go that next
Yeah.
caregiver style.
Yeah. And all her energy was going to these other things, just trying to keep things patched and keep them
Uncle
working,
Jimmy had
right?
his own. Uncle Jimmy was a loose cannon. I mean, he was construction,
Yeah.
built bridges. That's his brother, and he was all New York City. He didn't do it. Nothing. Syracuse was like a farm.
Yeah.
Where is that place?
Well, see, Uncle Jimmy was he was good at, well educated.
Oh, he was.
And
He did it right.
And he hired his brothers.
Yeah. He did it right.
And he took care of them.
Yeah. But in New York.
Yeah, but you see, that works in Italy, but not in the United
Not in the United
States.
States.
In the United States, the families all get broken up.
Yep.
And so all of these siblings are left helpless. You see, that's the difference.
Well, the big problem is, you mentioned it in a couple of videos ago. Nonu was pretty much at fault for a lot of that because the attitude that he had was one major person in the family is all you need, the dominant guy.
That's old school.
Right? He gave education to Uncle Jimmy, he did everything for Uncle Jimmy, nothing for anyone else. Look at Uncle Paul. We don't even talk about him.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
was the
brilliant
same. He was
talent.
brought up the same with Dad.
They didn't do anything for him.
Nothing.
He was a bricklayer.
Bricklayer.
His hands of stone.
But he had no education like Dad.
No, as I said,
Same thing.
with the culture in those days, I know Uncle Nanu was that way. Big shot, like matriarchs. Here's a big guy, and that's all you need. They'll take care of everything else.
That's how it was in Italy, though.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
The
But
feudal system.
But you don't
yeah.
move. You don't move.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
What if the guy dies? I hate to. Then the family's left to abandon.
Abandoned. Yeah.
And that's what Chuck. When Dad moved away from the core, he couldn't do anything.
But you know, as the oldest boy, you see, Pete and I used to sleep together, and
Yeah, I know we
and
have to be careful.
I felt responsible, for Pete and Vincent.
Not in so many. Not in some
Not
meetings,
so
though.
much for
Out
Angela.
of context.
Angela was like a non-entity.
Well, Angela, poor Angela. We're going to talk about her someday. We'll get an hour. Poor Angela.
But Mom comes to me as the oldest boy, and she says, he was Dad was a real bad alcoholic. She said, Dad says to me tonight, after he comes from Gels, that he's going to have to kill me. And here I am, the oldest boy, and I said, but
Now I
Mom,
gotta figure out
what do you want me to do? She said, well, you do what you can. And I said, but what
What are
can
the
I do?
options?
I said, Dad could kill me with his little finger. He was so strong,
You don't even want to even think of that.
No, I know.
No,
How
it's-
old were you? How old were you when
I
you
was
said-
about
14, 15? 15
15,
years old, maybe?
15,
'Cause that was the zone.
16 at the most.
Yeah.
And so I said, what can I do? What am I going to do? And here's Nona in the next room. She knows this.
She's
And she was
said
terrified.
a lot of prayers. She
Yeah, I was
started
just
praying.
praying.
She said,
Yeah.
but she said to me in Italian, she said, but tonight there's a full moon. That's why your father
That's
goes
why.
crazy. He goes crazy
She thought
with
he was
the
a
full
werewolf.
moon. But he was an alcoholic, and I'm trying to explain to her, well, Nonna, she's drinking too. He's drinking heavy. No, the moon.
Well, there's something to that, though.
So I'm saying, so mom, fortunately, somebody in the saloon gave Dad a knife to kill his wife with.
Why? What generated this, though?
Because it's just all fun.
Because he was so upset with life.
Oh,
It's stupid. It's stupid.
See,
Don't watch it.
and so Mom found the knife. She found it, and she hid it. I said, well, so far so good. He hasn't got
He had it right next to the gun.
that's the only knife in the house?
Yeah.
I mean, there's other
Oh,
knives.
we had
right?
knives.
Yeah, yeah.
We had. I still have the big one that you gave me.
Oh, yeah. So he came in, and started to bite the walls and with his teeth,
Oh, he was
broke his
tough.
teeth and everything.
Bite the wall.
Well, they tried to help get him out of the house. He had some guys that were Big Pat, those guys.
Yeah.
I remember one time he grabbed onto the door jamb. That's oak.
Yeah.
The old house, right?
Yeah.
All about 6 layers of paint on it, because old. That's me.
Oh.
God, I should get rid of it. And he grabbed on with his teeth to the edge of the frame, and he ripped a chunk of oak with his teeth. You know, and here we are like this.
And we're supposed
What
to
are we gonna
manage
do?
him?
We can't even. As far as I'm concerned, we weren't even there. We were like, that's crazy. Stop him! Yeah, we would do that.
Yeah, but for a guy like that, when he finally got sugar diabetes, for a guy like that to completely change, you know, no alcohol, lost weight, he went from 210 pounds, mostly from alcohol, down to 145.
He
just like
changed
that.
like he did it often too. He wasn't.
I was gonna
he-
say,
He
I
gained
remember
and he
going-
lost.
yeah,
He gained and he
yeah.
lost.
Yeah, yeah.
But the other thing about I have a little bit of a thing interjected here, but I wouldn't call him. I have these weird feelings about things. An alcoholic.
Yeah,
He drank more than alcoholics probably would drink, but I think he drank for a different reason.
Yeah.
He drank to forget.
yeah. Self-medicate?
Yeah.
No, he had a horrible life. He
Yeah,
hated
yeah.
his life. He hated Syracuse. He hated the mundane. He was an actor. He was an entertainer.
Yes,
He could
right.
do anything. And I'm over here, God, making
Yes.
cakes. He was so angry that he drank to forget, not drink because he wanted to.
Right.
There's a difference. I think genetically he was not an alcoholic. He could
Well,
quit
no,
too easy.
No, but Pete, you're absolutely right, because when he was found to be sick and was taken to the hospital, he gave up alcohol just like
It's like
that.
that. He didn't even care.
Just like that. He didn't drink anymore
So
after
you're
that.
right. That's the thing that we saw. I noticed
Yeah.
all those things because I was worried as hell living in that house
Yeah.
with a guy that went and drank 60 beers in one day.
60 beers.
And I'm going, whoa.
He
what is-
but he broke Babe Ruth's
Broke the record. You know what we used to do? We used to lay in bed wondering when he would be coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd lay there in my bed thinking, is it going to be a bad
There
night?
you go.
Because I could hear him.
Yeah.
And it was a hard life.
And what would your mother do?
Same thing we did.
Worried.
Worried as hell.
She worried. She worried.
All the time. Is he going to hurt someone? I mean, sometimes he would get nasty.
Yeah.
And I told you the story last
See,
time.
in addition to all those other duties that we just mentioned, all these talents, she had to take care of this too at the same time. Think of the responsibility on her, right?
She was loaded with responsibility.
Pins and needles too,
was such
living
a
on pins and
capable
needles
woman.
all the time.
Even cars. I mean, poor mom, she couldn't wait till he drove. He told you that
Yes,
story.
yeah.
We said that
The
story.
16-year-old thing. 15, you get your learning, anxious to get help.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes I felt so bad for mom. We're talking about mom. Is the attitude that we presented because we were stupid kids. You know,
Yeah.
kids do stupid things.
Right.
They have no idea what love really is. They know you love,
Yeah.
but you don't treat with love. I used to tease her and pick on her, and not cruel, but you know, attitude.
Yeah.
Hey, I need that shirt. I gotta buy that shirt. It's the best shirt in the world. Everybody in high school is wearing the same shirt. I can't get one.
Yeah.
She would buy it.
Yeah.
She was in the middle of decorating a cake. Mom, I need a pair of socks.
Yeah, where are they? We used to ring the phone, 1191, ring, ring, and she got 15 customers running around, writing orders, taking care of Dad, getting the car in the back. And she didn't even drive. If she drove, you know what? If she drove, she'd leave. She would have gone to
That's what I
California.
wanted. She would
Did.
escape. Well, didn't you guys help in the store though?
Oh, we helped,
After a
but-
certain age, didn't you
Well,
help?
reluctant. We were stupid help. I did stupid help. I did what I was told, cutting the lady fingers once in a while, annoyed. I could be out in the park, in the grass.
How about stirring the hot?
Well, that's a different problem. I was really annoyed on that.
Why?
Because it was a a definite time required. Other stuff you could kind of fake and get around. Oh, I did the cookies. No, you didn't. He did them. But stirring the cream, you can't stop.
You can't
got
stop.
20 minutes.
And if you charred it,
Oh, but
copper kettle,
that's when Nana kicked in.
oh.
What would happen? What would
Well,
you do?
you threw that whole batch away.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Clean the
that
pot.
kettle, you could not use that kettle again
Nope.
until
Clean
it was scraped out and washed out thoroughly.
Sparkling copper.
my
You had to be sparkling.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I knew that there was cream, and don't forget I was older then. I think I was actually going with, no, was it Ella? Or I think Ella was the first one that I was, girlfriend. And I had my nice light blue pants, white shirt all opened up, nice, decked out with a black Elvis hair. And I'm out there, she said, Beetle.
But you know why?
I knew the cream look.
Wait.
You know why?
What?
I tricked
Because you said, get Peter? You didn't say that. You didn't do that.
Once
I never knew that.
Once I did that,
You did that?
She came to me. I says,
Get Peter.
I says, get Peter. You know, he can do it. He does a beautiful job.
Speaking, we're in our 80s now, I learned. Holy shit.
And I'm over
you
there
did that?
laughing my head off.
So you had your white pants on?
And I loved and trusted you with my life.
Now you know.
You turned me in. I was wondering, so what the hell is out of the blue? You Beetle.
Vinchio. I win.
He scores!
Now you know.
Yes.
Goal!
All the time passed.
See, you had to have a camera and everything.
Your father and I have spoken on the phone
I know.
about 10 million hours.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I never ever heard that.
Well, you finally felt up to
There he
it.
is.
And I never did that to you. I never did that to you.
You never
I never
did.
said good
No,
shot.
You never did.
No, I never did because I had the respect.
He was a good kid.
I was good with it. But anyway, so I'm getting my nice pants on, right?
I know.
And I don't want to get them. They were like silk, blue, and I had the white shirt all thing. And I looked at him going,
But just put it this way. Put it this way. You provided a lot of entertainment for us.
I sure did. But anyway, I got the apron on. I had the neck. I put the neck on this one. Sometimes you do the half apron. I did the whole apron because I was perfected.
I know.
So first it was vanilla and then chocolate.
We hated though that we hated it.
4 batches. You
Oh
know
my
how long that is?
4 batches.
That's a long,
a
20
long
minutes
time.
a batch. So it was chocolate, and then I had to wait till she would take the cardboard, she cut out cardboard, not wasteful, cardboard chunk, this big, and she'd scrape the copper pot, and she put it out hot, steaming coming up, in a steel porcelain pot. Then we carry it out in the garage and cover it with wax paper, and it would cool. That's how you make the cream, right? And part of it. And then I'd wait for her.
But Pete,
Aren't you finished yet?
but Pete,
My grandmother, the person that I loved, the most amazing woman on the
but you were a
planet.
kid. You were a
I was a
kid.
stupid kid because a girl. I
Yeah,
thought of
well,
the girlfriend
sure.
waiting for me, and I was
course.
there in the big car, and
Of
all that
course.
crap.
You had a
but
life.
Pete, now how can I make up for it?
Well, you don't have to. I have to say, I absolve you from.
Now that we know, how can I make up for it?
You made up for it by. Well, I don't know.
Come on, call it a favor or something. Come on.
No, I can't do that. I'll never do that.
No.
He's my mentor.
What could I do? What could
Well,
I
you
do?
did. You helped me with my homework,
Oh!
and he was so patient.
What was this homework?
Matt, I didn't
Oh,
like
Matt. Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he created all the
You were
products.
such
I
a
did.
good
No,
kid. No, but I have to admit, you were such a good kid. You
Oh,
were.
you were.
Vincent wasn't.
No, Vincent was dangerous.
He was dangerous. I used to say, let Vincent have his own way. I mean, because
I
you were
know, easier. It's easier.
easier, but also, you had a very strong stomach. I said, let him punch you in the stomach.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah. I used to.
Remember, and he used to do
I
it.
know it. I used to, like that. When I was stupid, when I was a kid. You know that.
Let him punch you.
In the gym, I was in the gym a lot. When I was a kid, and I had the ab thing. I had this little I had this muscle that went, remember that?
Yeah.
You could grab it.
Yeah.
It was like it was shaped like a cylinder,
Yeah.
you know? And so Vinny, he could hit me anytime he wanted. I couldn't hurt him, you know? But, which was stupid. We were a crazy family.
Oh, I
Yeah.
guess. Oh,
But
my God.
this guy I respected so much because I knew when I was little that he was the guy. You know, he had the mind, he was bright, and he was the patience, and he would study things, and you know, he was sharp.
Yeah.
And I knew it. You know, when you're a kid, you notice all that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I respected him a lot.
Fortunately, I inherited a few of Mom's genes.
Oh, I know. I had them too.
You both
The
did.
compassion
You did
gene.
too. You
have,
did too.
you know,
You did too.
We
but-
help everybody.
But
Yeah.
you know, you were so easygoing. See,
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Vincent wasn't. Dad
Vincent
wasn't.
was very different.
And me, I was desperate.
No, you were
So-
stuck because you were the oldest.
Yeah.
And you had the most responsibility.
Yeah, well,
You know, you stood up to it. You know, dressed nice, you did things nice.
yeah.
What about Angela, though?
Oh, Jesus, Angela, poor Angela.
She doesn't seem to factor in too much.
Well, Angela, and she couldn't go out without one of us, especially me being the oldest. Like let's say go to the movies. Couldn't go to the movies. She couldn't go unless I took her, or Peter, somebody like that. So one time I got so mad I didn't like to do that because it was I would
Feel right.
My buddies would look upon that as a weakness.
Right.
So one day I got so mad at her because I had to take her to the movies. I stabbed her with a pencil, and I felt so bad after that. I did. I still do.
You know, Angela was great.
What
She
did
was so passive.
What did she want to do with her life? She went to
Not
school.
much, she didn't know.
She didn't know.
Because they didn't give her any latitude.
No.
She had no place to go.
No.
I tell you this story before about, she had a couple girlfriends, and she would get so excited when the girlfriends came over, because that was her release. That was her world, her excitement, is to talk to girls about girl stuff,
Yeah.
right? And one time I told you this, they were in the car, they get in the car and talk, because it was secret, hidden. And I got into the trunk and I was trying to listen.
I think I heard that.
Stupid
I
kids.
don't think I heard that.
Stupid. What are you gonna do? I didn't hear anything, but it's glad I didn't. But I'm saying, poor Angela. I remember one time she was going with Rudy or Mary. I think she was going with him. It was intense. You could see that they were gonna get married.
Yeah.
And we had to have an attitude. We had to be wise guys, brothers. That's Italian brothers.
Yeah.
They went to. She would bake. She was a great cook and baker. She could bake anything. She baked better than my mother. Right? She made the pastries that we didn't normally see, American style,
didn't know that.
richer stuff. You know, make cakes perfect. So she made these things. I don't even know what they call them. They were like jelly filled, baked croissants, things like that, and they were delicious. Right? So she made this tray of them for Rudy. So we knew that. So what are we supposed to do? Just sit there and let her be happy? Well, she has no. So we stole them and took them next door where we lived in that little apartment. There's a window on the garage roof. We lifted the window up, went in there and hid them in there. They were okay.
Yeah.
They were just cooling down. We hid them. And when she saw that there was no cookies for him, she flipped. I never saw her that mad and, "You can't do anything around here, you did that." She went on, So eventually, you know,
You
Vincent,
gave him back?
Yeah, Vincent was involved, yeah.
You see, I met Rudy at the smoke shop,
Yeah.
and he had come out of the Army. He had no friends, not zero. And so I said, "Do you want to taste a nice Italian meal?" Yeah. So took him home to the bakery, and Angela saw him, and boom, she grabbed him.
He was perfect.
Hey, perfect.
He's a good-looking man,
Yeah.
big, strong guy, and smart as.
And he loved Angela.
He loved Angela.
And
He loved the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he wouldn't leave. And so they quickly got married. They eloped. They got married and went off.
Yeah.
And because of that, I had to have a big wedding.
That was him coming into our family was the best thing
Best
that
thing.
happened to us.
Yes.
Best.
Because
Is that where you got the idea of going to college? because he had gone to college, right?
Oh,
Rudy?
yeah, he was an architect.
No,
So-
he worked for the state,
Right,
and
right, but-
he was an engineer.
Yeah, architect.
But when you say him coming into the family was the best thing that happened, did he give you an example of somebody that had gone to college?
Well,
Because
he-
there was nobody in your family went to college.
No, he showed intelligence.
Yeah.
He spoke well.
Uh-huh.
He was smart. He knew how to do the car things, deal with people. He was really sharp.
Uh-huh.
He was a perfect human being.
Perfect,
Mm-hmm.
generous. I mean, he would say, "We're kids, we're brats,
Yeah.
basically, right?" We're in the house upstairs, and he said, "What do you say we go get a fish fry at 11 o'clock at night?" Nobody did that for us.
Yeah.
That was exciting.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we didn't. My father he didn't even drive us anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this man in the house who was decent, smart, intelligent, bright. I remember he showed me a picture that he was an artist. He was a great artist. He pen and inked a picture that he drew while he was in the back seat of an airplane, a fighter plane, in Alaska, and he sketched the entire cockpit with the back of the pilot's head
Oh, my God.
and all the details on the equipment.
Wow.
Every detail. I loved it. It was
Do you
perfect.
still have it?
He was an artist,
You know what happened to it?
but he.
Sorry, Ange.
No, but he.
But
Wait a minute. Let Uncle Peter
Yeah.
finish.
they stored all his stuff. They didn't know what to do with it. He had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And they put it in the basement of the house in
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Syracuse.
Yeah, I remember this.
Frank and
yeah.
Angela lived. And there was a lot of
Floods.
water. Water would come in all the time,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
flooded it, and it ruined recordings, movies.
Oh, jeez.
Everything we ever had
Oh.
is gone.
That's awful.
Threw it out
Terrible.
because it's the past.
Yeah, right.
When we got married, Mom and I, he loved cars. He had a brand new Pontiac,
Pontiac.
and I had an older car. And he said, "Chuck, you're going on your honeymoon. Take my car." I said, "What are you, crazy? That's your brand new car. You don't want to leave. You didn't let anybody
Nobody
touch it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got to take it. And we took it. That's how he was. So when he died, and he died fishing in an accident at night with my outboard motor, and I felt so
No,
terrible
it wasn't anything
because
to
of-
do with you, but you felt bad.
And Dad said it. He said when Rudy died, the whole family went down the tube because he had big plans.
Yeah.
He was gonna have us when they bake stuff.
He was
gonna
involved.
freeze it and then have a big grocery chain.
Grocery chain, he wanted to sell it, yeah. He wanted to make the goods and then
Yeah.
freeze them and
Right.
put them in the,
Right.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was-
Brilliant mind.
he was helping in the store, orders and cakes
Sad.
and,
Plus, he was the only one who could control Dad.
oh, he was,
How did he do that?
he loved them.
Okay.
They loved him, and our dad did not want to hurt him's feelings.
And Rudy was decent to everyone, and my father wasn't all, we make him out to be this ogre, but he was sensitive, he had a heart, he loved us,
Yes.
and he loved Rudy, and he treated Rudy with such respect.
Such respect.
Like Rudy is the kind of man, he really
Oh,
respected him.
yeah. All
Kind
their
of a John
hopes,
Wayne.
Right.
yeah, all their hopes rested with him, and he would have done anything for our parents.
And I also feel, I really feel awful. So my heart aches. Vinny and Mary. God, you were in that building,
Yeah.
and upstairs. The fathers died. We were like rodents looking for a way to move around.
Right.
And confused and chaos. I was in Germany when he died, I think I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And my mother sent a note to Germany, to the chaplain, to speak to me. He never got it. So she writes a letter to me months later,
God.
assuming I'm aware. I didn't even know who she was writing about. Sorry, that's the way things go. I'm so sorry. I wish that you were here to I'm thinking my father died.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's the only one I could think of.
God.
So I called, 3 minutes call from Germany, and I was shocked. I said, "Mom, what's up with Dad?" And Rudy, I figured,
You know that Mom went at the time. She went to all the organizations that took care of veterans, not one would help. So Angela was without any help from any veterans groups, and here he was, a World War II overseas veteran, Rudy. And she had 2 children, no one would help her. Without mom and dad, she would have been homeless, but she didn't get any money. She had no money to raise them with, to do anything at all. And that's why the only thing that saved her was getting married. Mary, there's a picture that just before Mary died in Florida, of Mary sitting on the butcher's shop steps. And all she had on was little panties. And she looked at it and she said, she says, that I feel so depressed looking at that picture. Because our life was terrible at that time.
She said that to me one time because my memories of the store are always happy, larger than life, laughing, and all these characters coming through and all that. And she said, she was in Florida at the time, so it was later in her life. She said to me, she says, more or less like chiding me. She says, you have good memories of the store, she said, but I don't look at it that way. I don't remember it that way. It was a sad place for us. It was more or less like,
When her father
leave that stuff because I don't want to hear
How
about
old
it.
was she when her father died? Was she 3?
She was only a baby.
Baby? She was young. So I'm saying she was really growing up with a loss.
Yeah.
It showed on our faces.
Yeah.
We missed him so much. He told me he was one of the last groups in the Army Air Force. After he left, it became the Air Force.
Yeah.
There's no more Army.
Is that why Vinny went into the Air Force, you think?
Yeah, probably. Vinny, I'll tell you something. I feel so bad for that man. He's a wonderful kid, amazing, bright, and he took the loss big time. And I don't blame him. He hears us talk about his father, how wonderful he was, and he never knew it.
No.
I felt so bad.
Yeah.
He used to antagonize us a lot, for teasing and joking, trying to be happy.
Yeah.
And I'd be making cannolis. What are you doing? Get Angela, get him out of here. But I felt bad.
Would you remember when we took Vinny and Mary to live with us at Putnam Road?
Well, I remember Vinny. I don't remember Mary
Yeah.
coming to live with us.
Well, both of them, but Mary left first. She wanted to go back, and Vinny stayed and went to school for a while. And he was having problems.
He was a tormented child.
He was a very tormented.
There's many depths to him.
Yeah, and so he never got over it.
He's still angry.
Yes, he is. I've talked to him.
I know it.
Yeah, he never got over it.
He used to look at me and say to me, "I want to know more about my father. Can you tell what can you tell me about him?" So I told him all I knew, the stories that I love. He would remember who's the guy, Joe at the 7-Eleven kind of place. Remember the food corner in the food store in Lodi Street? Remember his buddy? Rudy,
Oh, yeah.
Joe.
They used to do.
He was really close.
Yeah.
We loved him because he spoke great. This guy in the grocery store,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he would take us there late at night, just on a whim. We'll go get some candy. We'll get us some ice cream. No one ever did that for us.
Yeah.
No.
We were in heaven with the guy. Put us in the back seat.
What a good father he would have been.
Oh, he was. When he had those 2 kids, look what poor Mary missed.
Yeah.
Mary was an angel. She was an angel, and she missed her father.
Mary's the closest to being like grandma
Mom,
that I can think of.
Bingo.
She was like the reincarnation of grandma.
She's a genetic
absolutely.
duplicate.
A clone, yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
But the one story that is kind of a weird. The night that Rudy died, Dad and Mom said they saw him in the right outside the window where we park in the driveway, and Mary told me that even when she was a little girl in the bathtub in the bathroom where we were, the window, she saw her father's face.
And that was a brick wall on the other side of that, because it was the building. That window looked out to that brick wall.
Yeah, it looked out to the
building
brick
next
wall.
door.
Yeah.
And at first she thought it was real. She was talking to it. She was little.
Yeah.
And then she realized, she wasn't afraid, but she said, then she realized that's not possible.
Yeah.
You know, it tugs at your heart. Her young age, beautiful. There's no girl, no person that was ever more beautiful
Yeah.
than Mary.
Well, throughout, she was a beautiful person inside and out.
Oh, yes, yeah. She was the best.
She was the best.
Yeah.
And she, don't forget, we saw her quite often when
I
we
know.
lived, she lived in
I know.
Florida, her and Bill. And then she had cancer and she was
Kindness.
dying.
She
And
was
she
full of
was,
kindness.
even when she was dying,
I know.
the day before she died, she was so happy and she was trying to help us. And I'm going, what are you doing? She was in bed.
Very unusual.
Very unusual.
Very unusual.
And Vinny had a little different twist. Vinny was just an angry. All I saw in Vinny was, what? Are you kidding me? That's kind of a...
Yeah.
When he started to reach out and ask him a lot of questions about his father, I knew right then that he ain't gonna drop that. He's still that way. He's got an indifferent feeling about life in general. He's so placid about it.
When you scratch the surface there, though, he's not so placid about
What's
it. When you scratch the surface with
Oh, I
him,
know.
though,
I don't see him though. See,
he's,
that's,
well, I didn't really realize this. This came later. I spent more time with him when they lived in DeRuyter. And underneath there, when he gets going,
he gets,
like you said, that the things
he's
bubble
got
up.
stuff. Yeah, I can tell. He
Yeah.
does, yeah.
But you know, just before Mom and Dad moved in with Angela, Mom had prepared for the retirement. She had bought a little house off from James Street, little tiny house for $10,000.
It was in Mattydale, I thought.
Yeah, it was close to.
Yeah, Mandale's close to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
close. And she said to Dad, she said, you know, why don't you fix it up a little bit because it's tiny and it will be happy there. He wanted no part of it, no part of it, and which was disappointed Mom a lot. And that's when Angela and Frank, by then Frank was they were married by then. Took them in to their Angela's house, and but he wouldn't move into that little place that Mom had. She had foresaw. She had a lot of foresight too.
She did. It was a
He
cute
planned
little
for
house,
everything.
too.
He's amazing.
And but he didn't want any part of it, and so they lost it. It was terrible, but.
Well, we're speaking, the whole thing here is Mom, and a couple of little quick things that I remember being in trouble in school. I didn't get in trouble very often, but sometimes I got into a mood that I said, God, and I missed school for a while. I was sick, and then I pushed it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a point in time I could have gone back. Yeah, I'll squeeze a couple more days out of this. Sickness.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Why not? It's right in front of me. So Mom, I don't think was fooled, but she went along with it because she loved us. You know? So I played her pretty well, and
I've never seen a
Wait a minute, Dad.
it was a junior high school. It was Grant Junior High.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was
A
probably
nice school.
junior high school. I was pretty old. So
Yeah.
I was, 14 maybe,
Yeah.
15. So I'm home, and then I went back to school reluctantly, and I didn't want to learn anything. I was just tired of it. In history, this Mrs. Bernhardt, room 205, never forget it. I asked her for makeup work because I missed 2 weeks of school, and I didn't want to do it,
Yeah.
but she didn't give it to me. She said, no, you're going to carry on from now on. I'm going to go back. This class is going forward, all that stuff. So I'm going to get a failing grade. I might fail, right? So I went home and I told Mom, I said, I might fail the class. I might have to stay back or something. She said, why? And I told her, really? She got a ride. I don't know who gave her the ride. She went to school. I think Dad might have done it. I know. The station wagon, somebody drove us there. Mom gets out of the car with me, and I'm nervous. I'm a nervous wreck. Going in the building, Mr. Pete, P-E-E-T, was the principal. A little dynamo guy. He looked like Truman, the glasses. Mr. Pete, tough guy. And I said, oh my God, Mom, Mr. Pete together in the same room with me, I'm out of here. I can't do it. But I went in there and I sat quietly. So Mr. Pete called for Miss Bernhardt, Sarah Bernhardt, not Sarah Bernhardt, Miss Bernhardt, to come in to this room.
Yeah.
And she comes in, and we're all in this room. And he said, I want you to explain to me why Peter does not have any makeup work. Well, I want to move the class. No. Makeup work on the desk now. Wow. So he made her go. Now, you know what I felt like? My mother made this happen.
Yeah.
The woman that, you know how I felt? I felt, what about the next day in class?
Oh, the retaliation.
Miss Bernhardt is going to be coming after me with fame. She was never better in her life. She was so good to the entire class.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
All my buddies were going,
Whoa. Have your mom come more often, right? Wow.
I was scared. She scared me with just going into that. Just having me in the same room with my teacher who just criticized and did all that bad stuff.
But your mother like spread
She
the
made it happen. She
yeah.
just looked at Mr. Pete and said, do you think that's right? You know, Mom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And he goes, you're absolutely right. Call it for her. He comes in.
Wow.
Gives me all the makeup work.
That's
of course,
great.
So I made out. I had 2 weeks off. I made up work. So
Score!
You know, speaking of Mom, maybe it's a good way to wind us up. The thing that she enjoyed, I think, the most that I ever seen anybody enjoy anything, was when we took her to Italy, and how the people in Italy received her. Remember, they thought she was a goddess.
Oh yeah, well I remember the stuff that she did for
them.
Yeah.
She did for Italy back in the 40s.
During the war is what they talked
We
about
used to,
the
I told you
most.
the story, we used to carry she would take old sheets, make bags out of them, stitched it, sewed it all up, right? And then she'd fill it with goodies, sew it out, it was sewn closed, and then she'd have a big marker, all the Italian writing on there, and Chuck and I, Vincent, would carry these bags to the post office.
It's amazing they got there.
We hated to do that.
Well, you know, on the other side of it though, to hear the Italians talking about those bags. And what they did when they arrived and how much it meant to them.
It's amazing.
It was incredible.
Well, Basilio, who was an army general, he said there was a little kid and you see the postman coming down, he'd be hollering, Josie, Josie, Josie.
She did all that.
And she did all that, and they worshipped her. Remember, they wouldn't let her go.
No.
There was a big riot when the airplane landed in Calabria. You remember that?
Yes.
The police came.
Yeah.
Because they were.
It wasn't a riot.
She was a goddess.
It wasn't a riot.
Even when we left, the train, they stopped the train.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
they couldn't do more for her.
You try it today. You get a big white bag of cloth, and you write in Italian like this, right?
Forget about
and
it.
you throw it on the counter. The guy will look at you and say, "What the hell? You get this trash out."
I tried to send dresses to or baby gift to Basilio's granddaughter when she was born, and I would ask, did it arrive? No, it didn't get there. Didn't get there. Right? I sent it twice. I sent a gift. Right? Never got to them. The third time, I was so mad. I put on the back something in black marker. If you open this or take this, you will be cursed forever. And that one got through.
Now he died. Now that.
No, I know. I worded it so. If you are other than the person, I said something.
You should say that Basilio now died, and boy, he left such a big hole. But he respected Mom so much and his family that he was in Venice, which is the opposite end of Italy, and his parents called him and said, "We have a great person coming from America. We want you to leave your family and kids and come down and stay with us for 1 week."
Well, they didn't even have to tell him that though.
No.
Because when he heard she was coming, he wanted to come down.
He wanted to come.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
Did you want to say another story though? You said you had a couple of things.
No. Well, we could go on forever.
I know.
And because Mom is it's built into our fabric. You know what I mean? She was an angel. You heard all the stories about her. There's nothing she couldn't do, and she was the greatest woman I think I've ever known.
She was. That's great.
And then ditto.
Ditto. So you've been married
For a long time.
for a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you noticed?
How many years?
Well, married 60.
60.
I tell everybody when I meet them, but happily married for 20 years. Just like a joke. I have to joke.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, well, I can start off, right?
When you
my
met,
version
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, start off.
When I got out of the Army,
And keep going, and keep going, and keep going.
I got out in 1956,
Yeah.
back from Germany. And it was a long trip home on the boat,
Yeah.
a couple weeks. So I got up to America and I think I'm gonna eat this country alive because I'm a young guy, been to Germany, only one in the family that left the country at the time.
Yeah.
So I was a big shot. So I'm gonna take Syracuse over by storm. Right? First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell my old girlfriend off because she sent me a nasty letter.
Ooh, dear John letter, huh?
So I did that, accomplished it. Then I said, I'm gonna start moving here, right? Get my stuff back on, get ready to go. Bought a new car, 1956 Oldsmobile. One of the best cars today that I've ever owned. Ultimate car. So now I'm ready. Clothes, car, girls, everywhere. So, and I'm experienced. I'm a German experienced kind of guy. So,
Mr. Cool.
Angela comes up. Remember Angela, the story we just told? Angela comes up to me, she says, Peter, we have to go out. I have been so ready to go out because she lost Rudy and,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
out, home ridden, I said, but I didn't want to do that. I want
Yeah.
my sister, just girls. So,
Thank you.
so she said, I got this girl I know from nursing school, Smith College, which was the school she was going to. She graduated as an LPN, got her little tag,
Yeah.
white uniform with a cap, all white pantyhose, whatever you guys call it. Yeah, she looked beautiful. Anyway, so I drive to the school to pick up Angela and drive her home. She loved it. And meanwhile, she comes down the stairs with a couple of other girls. The girls are coming down a long flight. The steps must have been 50 feet long,
Yeah.
leveled up, about 3 layers. So I'm sitting there in the park, the street, and I'm saying, who's this girl? I gotta get moving here.
Uh-oh.
I got things to do.
I think I know where this is going.
So and the sun was shining, and I see this angel come down the stairs.
Oh.
Beautiful. She had a very light brownish color top with a skirt. I don't even know if it was she didn't do the pony, what do you call it?
The poodle skirt.
She didn't do the poodle, but it was close,
Yeah.
something stylish. So I'm looking, I'm saying, whoa, hey, this has
Angela didn't steer you wrong.
This has promise here, And the sun was shining through the,
Did you hear the angels?
oh, I was thinking, I'm just from Germany, right? The time zone thing. So I realized that she was pretty cool.
Was it the Thunderbolt? The Thunderbolt?
Well, it wasn't thunder, but it was kind of a rumbling. So she comes right down to the stairs, and so we were going to go out and have lunch. And it turned out that the girlfriends that were with Angela were telling Angela later, oh, I want to go out.
Oh, sure.
Is
Yeah.
he going? Does he have a girlfriend?
Oh, sure.
And one of them was really falling on the table and stuff.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
going, "Eh."
'Cause you're
But I
like a movie
her.
star.
But I like this one.
Yeah, but you look like a movie star.
We were at the table
Yeah.
eating, we had a little lunch, and I tried to play cool. After all, I was from Germany. I played that up pretty well. So she comes on, she's very quiet, angelic, perfect. She acted perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Awesome. So she's graduating, all excited. And then after after that, I said, "Do you have a ride home?" And she said, "I take the bus." And I said, "Okay, can I give you a ride to the bus?" She went to Clinton Square. I dropped her off right there, made sure the bus picked her up before I left.
Wow.
We're good boys.
Wow.
And she took off. And then I realized, I gotta drive her home. No matter where I got a new car, you know. So at that point, I remember I asked, on my side of the story,
Yeah.
I asked her eventually for her phone number, and she gave me the phone, HO 91607.
607.
Hey!
Wow.
HO. Where's the H? Where's the O?
91607. Pretty darn good.
Huh? I knew the number. HA24205 is our number.
Yeah.
HA stood for Hanover?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, so I get the number. So we started to think about going out.
Yeah.
And that was a big project because her mother and father didn't like the Italian boys.
Because Felicia, your parents were Polish.
Polish.
Polish. Okay.
Strict Polish. Polkas all over the house. The skirts and the dancing and the thing and the accordions everywhere. So I'm going, oh my God, I got to penetrate this whole culture. So I felt bad because even though I was dressed, I always dressed nice.
Yeah.
I said, how do I make an impression on her parents? It was her parents I worried about
Yeah.
because they had the attitude that Italians were bad, crime, gambling.
Funny. Two ethnic groups that are somewhat similar.
Mafia.
Yeah,
Mafia.
Yeah, mafia.
Oh, God forbid with girls. Oh my! I'll let you know what they want.
Oh yeah,
You
right.
know, they want cookies. So I made a date. You remember this? Do you remember? We set up a date.
No, refresh my memory.
Well, if I tell you this, you got to tell me if you remember.
Okay.
And I didn't show up.
What?
Something
Yes.
happened.
I do remember.
Oh.
Yeah, remember?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
You tell the story. What did you do? See, her mind says I wish it was about a year or two
Yeah.
ago. But you remember what you did? What? Yes, but you did something more than that. You went outside
Yeah.
and you sat on the steps in the rain.
Oh. Oh, that's something else. Now, how did you hear about that? Did you go
Well,
there?
first of all, I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
And then later, I called her. She is such decent woman.
Yeah,
I knew that she was the one because she was clean and
yeah,
awesome. She didn't even call me to complain.
yes.
She's never complained to me in 60 years.
Oh man, that's unusual.
But that started with a no complaint. She didn't call me and say, you bad,
Right, yeah.
nothing. I called her.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. My friends, we were playing pinball machine, I don't know, some stupid. And I liked her.
Yeah.
So I just happened to do a stupid thing. And so she told me that
she
we'll
went
meet
out.
again.
Yeah.
Would you like to go out? And I asked her, do you want to go out? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She said, well, that's okay. She said, if you want to go out, she's very decent. We went out, and the first date, I go to her house, and I go in the house reluctantly. Their parents are,
Yeah.
So I sit on the couch nice and quiet, and I said, let's go to Harvey's. You remember Harvey's? It's a hot dog. The girls with roller skates with the
okay.
trays.
Okay.
Open your window and they drop the tray on there with the caps.
Yeah, we have one of those in Cortland
Yeah,
still.
right.
Yeah.
So I said, let's go to Harvey's. She said, I can make you something here. Again, I knew right away.
Yeah.
No girl wants to go out
No.
and get stuff,
Right,
and she said she wants to cook for me here. I was shocked, and her beauty was.
Yeah.
So we went out. The first date was, where was the first date? The first date we danced. Where was it? Starts with an S. Smith's Pier.
Wow.
Yes.
It was in Brewerton.
Oh,
Brewerton.
Oh, okay. Is it dance hall? Was it a dance hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the river, a lot of water,
On the river.
right on the water. There was a big rail, you could dance outside.
Oh, nice.
Speakers. So, and I loved to dance.
Yeah.
We used to dance
And you
all the
did
The
too.
time.
only
yeah.
place in the area.
Jitterbugs and all that stuff.
Huh.
So she's over there looking like an angel. We go out there and dance. I think we were with a friend, Joe Candelora, I think, and his girlfriend. I knew him from high school, double date thing.
Yeah.
So right then I knew. I'm dancing with her and said,
This is the one.
game's over.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
it.
find out how to do this, you know.
So much for all that.
So much for
All
all
those
the playing
plans.
around.
Yeah, yeah,
Syracuse
okay.
was like dark. So anyway, we finished up that. I drove her home. The Lake View Parkway.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Heights
Right,
down
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Beautiful night. Oh, all 7 more miles
Yeah.
to her house in South Syracuse,
Yeah,
South Salina.
yeah.
Dropped her off, came home. Next morning I read in the paper, Smith Pier is gone.
What?
It got struck by lightning and it burned down. There's
burned
nothing
down.
there.
Right after you were
Next
there.
day,
That same night.
right after we left,
Holy
Right after
gee.
we
because I saw a storm. I saw a storm. We were driving.
Oh, is that weird?
Bang! I looked it up. I reached Syracuse Post Editor.
Yeah.
You can look it
Yeah.
up.
No, I believe you, but that
Probably
is so eerie.
1956, I think, is the year. Yeah, or the beginning of 56.
Yeah,
It would happen.
that's strange. What'd you think when you read that?
Well, shocked.
Yeah.
We were like, we destroyed the place.
Yeah.
We burned it down.
That's the end of that. No more dancing.
No, well, they're not there.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Oh.
So that was our first date. And
But you knew right away.
oh, I mean, as soon as I saw her go down the stairs.
Yeah, you knew. But
I knew that-
did Dan Felicia know right away?
No, I know when I found out she knew. I knew when she knew. I'd pick her up often.
Yeah.
You know, when I start to date, like, and pick her to school and she
Right,
would graduate.
right.
I took a peek at her notebook. She had the little, what do you call it?
Theme book?
Diary.
No, well, not diary, your schoolwork.
Yeah, a theme book.
Yeah, the little tablet.
Yeah, yeah.
The kind that you open and ring, the
The
binder.
spiral
Binder.
notebooks,
A
yeah.
binder.
Yeah.
And my name was everywhere.
Oh,
I saw Peter Gazzara written, beautifully written. Her handwriting was gorgeous.
okay.
So she wrote my name billions. Then she wrote, and some of them Mrs.
Yeah, yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm going,
Well, there you go.
now I don't have to worry.
That's literally all she
I'm
wrote.
all done.
All done, finished.
I've seeked it out,
Uh-huh.
found it, my mission was complete. All I needed to do was to give her the ring.
Sweet.
And I gave her the
That's
ring
sweet.
a year after I met her. 1956 I met her, 57 I gave her the ring.
Yeah.
I think it was Christmas, no, it was still 56. And in front of her house. By the way, her mother and father would look out. And when I'm there,
Yeah.
11 o'clock, Felicia, we'd swing in the backyard with a swing thing, la la la, moonlight, in the 50s,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the 50s were the
yeah,
best.
I
Music
know.
was perfect. The air was better.
Yeah,
Everything was
that's what you were
good.
saying the other day.
Right? Everything was better. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful era.
Yeah.
It's better.
We lived in the 50s. It's the best time
Yeah.
in the history of the
The
world.
acme of,
It was. Peaked.
Yeah.
It peaked.
Yeah.
And I'm right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
With a gorgeous
Yeah.
girlfriend. So we're playing, me, 11 o'clock. Tick, 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 the lights, tick, 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 the lights are going on. Time to go in. So what am I gonna do out here? You know, I'm not gonna do anything bad.
How did you win them over though? How did you get them to like you?
Chuck, tell him.
Persistence?
I was a pretty good guy.
You were slick?
I was very nice.
Yeah, you were nice to
I was the
them.
most polite person, beyond even what polite should be.
Yeah,
He was a gentle man.
I can see
I
that.
was so kind. I helped. I just talked to her mother in
Yeah.
a way she liked.
yeah. What was the Barney was your father. What was your mother's name? Barney and
Barney Felix.
Sophie.
Sophie.
She
Barney
was
and
Sophie. But his name was
Felix.
Barney Felix.
Barney Felix.
Felix.
Well, Felix was. That's a strange name to kind of handle, you know.
Yeah.
We come from.
Nickname was Felix.
Oh, okay.
You know, we come from different kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Because I remember them, and I remember their house. I remember your old house.
128 Richfield.
Yeah, I remember
128
going there.
Richfield.
Yeah,
Right just before
Yeah.
Nedrow.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
it. Nice.
But her father was great, her mother was great. Everybody was great. Her aunts had, they drank a little bit too
My
much.
brother was Stanley.
Stanley,
My sister was Bernadine.
Bernadine. We
Bernadine.
don't, Bernadine's alive in Texas,
Oh, really?
but we don't talk, because
No.
she doesn't communicate with her brother or her
Oh,
brother.
younger or older?
Younger.
Younger.
She's the youngest, was Bernadine.
Okay.
She was in a car accident.
Oh.
And with a big Bonneville, big car. And the kid was a Greek kid with a lot of money. And she was a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And she got thrown right out of the car,
Oh,
maybe about 40 feet.
Oh, my gosh.
And she had one lung. I think one lung was,
Punctured?
she had an operation on her lung. She lost one lung when she was little. So she was delicate, you know. But she was sort of a typical Bobby Soxer. She would sit there on the floor with her leg crossed, right?
Yeah.
On her side. It's like a contortionist. The leg would be, you look like a figure 4, sideways. And she'd be doing her homework, listening to music, with everything on.
Well, that was the 50s, too.
50. She was a perfect.
Yeah.
Who was her favorite singer was
Fabian.
Fabian. Yeah,
Fabian.
Yeah.
that's right.
Everybody loved Fabian.
Everybody
back then.
Fabian.
Yeah.
You had pictures
Yeah.
of him everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a little bit before me, but I knew that was a big deal.
You know,
That was a
it
big
turns
deal.
out that it's not that much before you, because
Yes,
she was the
right.
younger sister
Yeah.
to Bernie. Bernie was about 4 years younger. I don't even know how old. But she doesn't even communicate.
Oh, that's sad.
She's got
That's
very strange. She moved to Texas with her boyfriend,
Yeah.
her husband, and he's a wonderful guy. Navy, smart,
Yeah.
brilliant guy. Gravitated to the family. They all loved him. He was
Yeah.
one of those guys. They moved to Texas, and the first phone call we ever had with her was about 3 months later. Hi, y'all. She was already talking Texas.
Oh, jeez.
And I said, "Oh, here's one of those."
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, she's a nice girl,
Yeah.
but she's not.
Yeah,
she's not
that's-
serious.
Well, you got the pick of the
Oh, this
crop.
girl,
Yeah, you got the best.
the best.
Yeah. She
The
is.
best.
She is.
60 years, no complaints, is something that not many people
No,
can say.
and she's smiling. Look at her. Look at you. She's smiling. She's agreeing with what you're saying.
Good girl.
Yeah. Yeah, you're both good people, though. You're both
She's
good
been
people.
through a lot.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, it's all right.
That's
Wait,
sweet.
no, wait. Do you
Oh.
have anything to say about us? You remember?
What did you think of him when you first saw him? Do you remember what you
What
thought
did
of
you
him?
see when you looked down? You saw that car with some guy in there from Germany.
Oh, from Germany.
No, I'm only.
Well, when you first saw Uncle Peter, what did you think of him? Way
When
back, when
first-
the first time you saw him.
Oh, I was attracted.
Yeah.
Instantly
Yeah.
attracted.
Yeah. He's a handsome guy. He's still a handsome guy.
If there was such a thing as first love, and there really is.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, she
That
was.
was his.
She was so bright. Beam. She popped right out.
Yeah.
Very, very, very.
So
bright.
you knew right away too. You knew right away that you wanted to be with him. Yeah.
Pretty quick, huh?
Nice.
I used to take her to the drive-in. Why they allowed 1950s,
Yeah.
right? When the culture was home,
Yeah.
the mother you know how they were very
Yeah. Yes. Right.
stoic
Yeah.
things, you know. How they thought, still can't get through my head. You allow a boy
Yeah. I know. In a car.
just starting to drive to take your daughter
Yeah.
to a movie in a car.
Right. It was rebellion.
It's the worst. I can't think of any
Yeah, I
scenarios
know.
any more awful than
He was
that.
living
I
dangerously.
couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
would not do it.
Really.
I wouldn't allow my daughter to go with
Yeah.
a guy,
Yeah.
16, 17-year-old,
Yeah.
in a car alone watching a movie.
Uh-huh.
Alone in a car?
Yeah.
You hope watching a movie.
Well, that's probably why they
You
went
never
away.
even saw the movie.
That's probably why they went away. The parents got mad.
Yeah, they aren't around anymore.
No, there's none of them.
No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
For the 50s,
Yeah.
when it was that restrictive feeling,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh, they're just crazy.
But
Still-
we were car crazy though. The car was we were doing everything in the car. We were eating in the
Restaurants.
car, you know.
I think
car
that
hops.
it's starting, but the discipline. In other words, what was a mom thinking and a father my daughter is precious, you know, when you get to 16, 17, you don't want any boys.
Yeah.
You're allowing her to go in a car
Maybe you
into a
maybe you
movie.
couldn't conceive of
Yeah,
anything that would
probably.
happen, you know.
I couldn't do it.
So far removed from your,
I did it.
Not mine.
yeah,
I went to the
Not mine.
movies in a car, and I
Yeah.
did it, and I still don't understand why
Yeah.
we were allowed.
Yeah.
Then the worst one was parking, looking for the
oh,
submarines.
yeah, right, submarine.
No, no, no. By Hides,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's a million cars parked there.
Yeah, I know.
Steamed windows. Your daughter's in there.
Looking for submarines.
Yes. Look at Chuck. Your daughter's in the car. What are you thinking?
Oh,
You gotta bang on the window and say,
hey,
get the hell out of
you
here.
know, kids have to be kids, what are you gonna do? You know, there's always a place, right? There's always a place.
Yeah, if not there,
Yeah,
somewhere else.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, I understand it.
How did they
Yeah.
deal with it?
Yeah.
I couldn't,
Well, a lot of the 50s was denial too.
Yeah, they probably was just gonna say,
Denial. Those-
pretended that
maybe they
wasn't
didn't
happening.
even know
That's what I'm thinking, it's not in their
they would be
vocabulary.
doing anything like that.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm thinking, so much denial.
I'm hoping they only smoke.
Right, exactly. You believe what you wanna believe, you
I
know?
know.
Yeah,
I just am fascinated by that whole
Yeah.
thing. What?
yeah. Well, you know, one of the last times I went to a drive-in was in your Corvair. You took me and Burl Carter, somebody
Burl,
else.
oh, yeah.
Somebody else.
Burl.
To see A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles movie, at the North Reading Drive-In. There was
Oh,
a
yeah,
drive-in
that was
up
nice.
in North Reading, and you drove us.
Meadow Glen? No, was it?
I
No,
drove.
Yeah, you drove, it was that black Corvair, and you were so cool to take us, and we were sitting there, and we were watching that movie, and we were just screaming. You could hear all these girls in these cars screaming at the movie, this movie screen, you're outside.
I know it. We used to take the
Crazy.
station wagon and put the back down.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah.
kids would all.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
But that was older than, I was like 13 or so, you know, I was too old for that
Yeah,
stuff.
for the car.
For the folding the seat down and all that, I wouldn't be caught dead doing that, but Aunt Felicia took us to see the Hard Day's Night, yeah.
Then they get all the food.
Yeah,
The
it was
drive-ins were a
cool.
culture in itself.
They were.
They were.
It was kind of sad. We have a couple of them left near us.
They're good.
But they're holding on
They're
by
good
their
for
fingernails. Exactly.
They're really good for
The whole
family.
car can get in for like $20.
I know.
You know.
So who was the guy? Was it Sammy Rayo? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember
Was somebody in that era? They tried to sneak in the drive-in, and they would hide in the trunk.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Open the trunk, get them out, and
Right, right, yeah.
and they wouldn't let them out. They were kidding around. They were joking, and they just we don't have anybody in the trunk. You know. But,
Bad.
the other thing I remember about the drive-in with Felicia is she would be the provider of all the food. She'd make the sandwiches,
Yeah.
the popcorn, the goodies,
yeah.
all organized,
Yeah.
right? All the routine, all these kids in the car,
Yeah,
right?
taking care of everybody, yeah.
So I'm sitting there watching the movie. I really got into the movie. I liked the movie, and I
Yeah.
wanted to cry. I wanted, this
Yeah, right.
is good, right?
Yeah.
And I reached out for a drink. You know, Felicia knew every signal.
Uh-huh.
Do this, is a drink, you know. So she handed me a bottle, and I'm looking at the movie, and I expected Pepsi,
Sure.
and it was Moxie. They didn't have any Pepsi, so she got a Moxie. It's a big deal, same color.
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
So there was fluid everywhere. Oh, what the heck happened? It was horrible, especially when you
When you expect Pepsi and you get Moxie. That sounds like a slogan, an advertising slogan. Don't substitute. No substitutions allowed. Oh,
Anyway.
that's cute.
Moxie explodes, right?
Well, no, yeah, but it was you bought Moxie because they didn't have any Pepsi. We were in a hurry to go to the drive-in,
Yeah.
and you put it in the car and you gave it to me to drink.
Oh.
And I expected a Pepsi, but it wasn't.
Oh.
And it tasted horrible. I don't like it even if I expect it.
I don't either. Dr. Pepper.
Oh, it was horrible. So anyway, so
Thank you.
you don't remember anything else, right? We're all set. We had babies, we got married. No, we had married, then we had
The
babies.
rest is history.